Honey and Chucha dream of getting into the best college. Lolly wants that college to make his ex jealous. Zafar, who is already in it, is pining for Nitu. Their paths cross when they're desperate to get easy money. Honey and Chucha are tired of failing in school and dream of a better life in college. Honey knows it'll be a different world with a lot of women. Honey is making a hole in the wall to leave their mark before school ends. They've been trying to graduate for 2 years and hope this will be their year. Good luck with that. Honey lures Chucha with a dream college life, where everyone can do whatever they want. Lolly prays so he can get transferred to his girlfriend, Shalu's, Bishop College this year. When he comes out, he finds that the gas cylinder attached to his bike is missing. Chucha brings Honey to a wedding procession, where they pick up cash and start dancing. Honey is fascinated by Priya during the dance, but her relatives scare them away. Lolly finds a homeless man playing with his cylinder. The man tries to sell the cylinder back to him and claims he doesn't need it since he's rich. It's always fun to be deluded. Lolly takes his cylinder back but is kind enough to offer him a free plate of food. His dad gets angry about distributing his restaurant food for free. Lolly gets a call and claims he needs to urgently meet Raju for a payment. Raju is actually Shalu, who is mad at Lolly for turning up late. Lolly feels bad she never lets him hang out with her college friends. She's embarrassed because he's studying through correspondence while she's in a proper college. He thinks she's being unnecessarily rude and begs her to show him the college that day. She allows it if Pandit lets them in. Honey and Chucha have bribed Pandit with something to smoke so they can learn more about college. They don't have enough percentage to get admission, but Pandit has another way. The papers for their final exams have been leaked, and he promises access to them. But he asks for 50,000 rupees for each paper, which is a huge amount for the boys. That doesn't look too promising. They still have 7 days to arrange for the money to get the papers. Chucha asks for a tour of the college, especially when Pandit lets Lolly drop Shalu inside. Pandit feels it's because Lolly is her boyfriend, but Chucha has seen Shalu cheating on him with Monty. Lolly's day seriously can't get any worse. Pandit allows Chucha and Honey to enter, but only if they pretend to be Zafar's cousins, if anyone asks. Zafar has been the cool guy of the college for years, but has been lying low for a while. There was a time when Zafar helped Pandit pull the strings he's in charge of now. Zafar tries to make music, but he's struggling with lyrics. Shalu finally introduces Lolly to her friends, but he gets jealous of her hanging out with so many men. Honey and Chucha feel like they're in paradise since they have never seen so many gorgeous women around. They try to gel with the crowd and even dance with the ballerinas. Zafar keeps looking at Nitu, who was with Shalu at the bus stop earlier. He tries to make music and it seems like she is his inspiration. There's surely a story here. Chucha and Honey are impressed with Zafar, but Pandit reminds them they need to start arranging money. No one needs that reminder. Pandit wonders why Zafar is wasting his talent and not making an album. Zafar has faced a lot of rejections from the music industry. He feels like making an album is more complicated, but he knows the problem is that he's not able to focus. I wonder why. Chucha wants their first entrance to college to be on horses. This reminds him of a dream he had that morning, which seems important to Honey. Chucha saw a wild elephant at the Jumbo Circus. The elephant trapped Honey in its trunk, and Chucha whacked him to rescue Honey. This is not the first time Honey gets beaten up in his dreams, but he starts interpreting it. He feels the elephant signifies Lord Ganesha. Since Chucha used 5 fingers for the whack, he feels they need to bet on the number 5 for the Ganesha category. That's a first. They head out to buy lottery tickets but ask for all numbers other than 5. The lottery seller knows they have some trick, so he keeps hiding the numbers they ask for. Chucha and Honey pretend to fight and make it seem like they're settling for number 5. The seller agrees to sell the tickets, and they end up winning the lottery again. If only dreams came true like that. Zafar's producer is tired of him performing horribly in multiple takes. Zafar is unable to sing, so the producer fires him. Lolly's bike tire is missing this time, and he finds the homeless man playing with it again. He wants to chase him, but needs to get to Shalu first. He runs to her, but finds Monty dropping Shalu in his car. That must have hurt. Nitu has been observing them and thinks Lolly should realize how priorities change in college. Lolly remembers Nitu teaches in Shalu's college and runs after her to catch the bus. He begs her to teach him accounting, since that's the only subject he can't crack. He knows if he manages to clear that paper, he can join Shalu's college. Nitu agrees to help him out of the goodness of her heart, but Lolly now wants that college so he can make Shalu jealous of another woman. The school's board exams are in 5 days, but Professor Chusky doesn't let Honey and Chucha sit for them because of low attendance. When all the students leave, Chusky agrees to give them their roll numbers in exchange for money. Chucha feels they're wasting money, but Honey reminds him they need the roll numbers to sit for the exam. Honey also feels if Chucha had more dreams, they would have more money. Chucha dreams every day, but doesn't remember it all the time. He thinks Honey should use the inception technique to understand his dreams better. Not a bad idea at all. Honey gets distracted by Priya staring out of her balcony. He keeps staring at her and flirting till she agrees to meet him on the roof. It's almost unbelievable. Honey's confidence scares Chucha. Honey still manages to aim a kite at Priya's roof and sends her a message asking her to be his friend. When she agrees, Honey jumps on multiple roofs to get to hers. She makes it clear she's not interested in anything other than friendship. Honey pretends he already has an older girlfriend in college. He claims she has taught him how to perform sexually. Priya gets grossed out and asks him to not trouble again. How did that charm not work? Neetu starts teaching Lali the basic rules of accounting, but he still struggles with it. Zafar remembers the past, in which he and Neetu are dating. He asks her to support his music career, but she thinks of it as a hobby. She needs him to be practical since he hasn't achieved anything, but he chooses music over her. She hopes he makes a career out of it because their relationship has ended because of music. Lali notices Honey and Chucha making some deals and asks them about it. They inform him about the board exam papers, but Lali is struggling with college admissions. He needs a leaked paper for his first year of college instead, so he can transfer to Shalu's college. They suggest he should meet Pandit. Lali asks Pandit about the papers, but he doesn't want to mess with university admissions. Thankfully, he draws a line somewhere. Pandit still feels there's another way, and asks him to donate 2.5 lakh rupees to the president's fund. Spoke too soon. Lali's dad refuses to lend him that much money, and thinks he should help out in the shop rather than join a useless college. Zafar's dad gets admitted to a government hospital, where he's not getting enough care. His mother knows they can get better treatment in a private hospital, but they need a lot of money. When the nurse asks Zafar to take his dad's urine sample, he tears up. He remembers the time his dad believed in him, and gave him a guitar to make music from his heart. Honey and Chucha approach Pradhan, who offers to pay Honey so he can dance at the bar. Honey happily dresses up as a woman, but refuses to get shaved. Chucha tries to negotiate a price, but Honey's dignity is more important. They are worried about money, but Honey gets an idea. Lali asks Pandit for a discount on the fee, but he doesn't budge. Honey and Chucha join them and Zafar. Honey explains Chucha's superpower and asks Pandit to invest in their dream scheme. Pandit refuses to entertain their madness, but Zafar seems interested. He must be really desperate. He asks Pandit about Boli Punjaban and doesn't care if she's very dangerous. Boli is the kind of woman no one messes with and speaks her mind. She humiliates her neighbors so much that they want to sell the house. This works out for her because she earns money from the lease. Boli is involved in every kind of illegal business and asks her scammers to make her more money. She's also a pimp who scares politicians who refuse to pay her. Pandit explains that the boys have a scheme they want to run by her. Honey takes over and explains what Chucha can do with his dreams. He offers to pay her extra of whatever profit they make if she invests. Boli is fascinated by this new kind of dream salesman, but asks for collateral. Honey gives her his mother's necklace, which turns out to be fake. She asks them to leave, but Lali, who has followed them, offers to give the deed to his dad's shop as collateral. She happens to know Lali's dad well, and asks them to drop by the next day. She warns them that they'll have to pay double if she loses her money. This doesn't sound promising. Honey feels they should ask Boli to double the investment, but Zafar asks him to not be greedy. Lali likes the idea, and feels it'll be better if everyone gets double their share. Lali has specially prepared food for Chucha, so he can get a good night's rest for his dream. Chucha is too excited about what he'll do with the money, and can't sleep. He asks Honey to join him on the bed, and Zafar also offers to play a tune to help him. Chucha and Lali also agree to massage him so he gets proper rest. Seems like everyone is invested. All of them get tired and doze off, but Chucha stays up all night. He pretends he is sleeping when Honey wakes up. Chucha feels the pressure and decides to make up some story about his vision. This will surely end well. He pretends he saw Honey perishing in his dream. The legs of Honey's bed turned into 4 legs of his coffin. His dream had all of them apparently, and he even saw them cremating him. As they light the pyre, Honey wakes up, and his behind is on fire. Boli then transforms into a snake and swallows Honey. Chucha rips her apart in 2 pieces and takes Honey out of it. That's actually very convincing. Honey feels the number 4 is clear because of the 4 legs of his bed and the coffin. He also thinks fire is associated with goddess Jwala, while the lion is a symbol of goddess Durga. Boli threatens the minister's assistant and asks him to pay up. She finds Honey and the others looking excited and asks them the number she needs to bet on. Honey seems confident and suggests that she should double her money. Chucha thinks they should stick with their original amount. Thank God he does. But Honey is confident and assures her she can double it. Boli places the bet, and Chucha falls on her. He feels like she's flirting back when she asks him to get off her. She gets a call back from Damru and realizes she has lost all her money. This has to hurt. Honey doesn't believe his formula is wrong, and Lolly is worried about his shop deed. She reminds them she needs her money back, and asks how they plan to pay. Zafar assures her they intend to pay her back, but none of them have money. Honey feels she should suggest how they can pay her back. Boli remembers a rave party that night in Gurgaon. She asks them to take some pills and sell them at the party. Every pill is expensive, and she has 500 of them. She thinks if they're successful, they can earn the money to pay her back. Honey agrees to sell them and doesn't care if they're illegal. He knows Boli is in no condition to negotiate. Good call on that one. Boli hands over the pills after counting them and asks everyone to not mess it up. She wants Chucha to stay back with her as collateral, but he assumes she loves him too. She asks the others to not reveal her name if anything goes wrong at the party. She just wants her money back and threatens to handicap them if they fail. Honey gives Priya a few songs he complied for her. He invites her to the Gurgaon party and offers to give her the paper for the exams. Priya doesn't want his dishonesty and asks him to take his girlfriend. Honey claims they broke up that day, and he was hoping she would give him a chance. He raves about the party too much and promises to drop her back safely. He asks her to tell her parents that she's studying at a friend's place that night. Priya agrees to go with him and asks him to pick her up from outside the temple. That was weirdly easier than it looked. Honey still can't believe one pill can cost as much as a month's grocery. Zafar asks him to not play around with something so expensive. Even Lolly is irritated he's getting a girl along. Honey reminds them that stags don't get easy entry into such parties. He's sure they will be better off with a woman by their side. Honey is speechless when he looks at Priya dressed for the party. Boli is amused by Chucha and thinks there's something weird with his dreams. She wants to know what the story behind the dreams is. He starts narrating a story that begins way before he was born. He tries to make it as dramatic as possible, and Boli can't help being impressed. When they all enter the party, Honey drags Priya ahead with him and starts dancing. Zafar and Lolly are more alert and try to find customers for the pills. Some cops are keeping a watch on them and decide to raid the party. They notice Lolly hiding a packet in his shirt and send their men after him. The cops chase Lolly as he rides away on the bike. Honey is trying to flirt with Priya while the cops are still searching for them. He touches her hand and reminds her she should be his girlfriend since he confessed his love. She pushes him away and gets out of their hiding place when the cops leave. She feels Honey lied about the illegal party and is trying to take advantage of her too. She feels stupid for thinking he really likes her and getting carried away. She feels his intentions are evil and asks him to never show his face to her again. The cops are impressed with how fast Lolly is driving, but are sure they will catch up with him. Lolly finds an opportunity in the smoke on the road and disappears. He turns up at Nitu's place and rings her bell. Zafar has turned up there too, and wonders how Lolly knows her. Nitu doesn't understand why they've come over so late. Lolly hands her the packet and requests her to hide it somewhere. Zafar explains it has illegal and she needs to cooperate so the cops don't catch them. She doesn't have time to scold them because the cops start thumping on her door. Lolly waits for a while before letting them enter. The cop keeps asking about the packet, but Lolly pretends it fell somewhere. Zafar makes up a story about the packet having menus for Lolly's restaurant. The cop doesn't believe him and scares Lolly, so he admits he was carrying substances. Lolly sticks to his story and keeps insisting he went to the party to promote his catering business. Surely that is believable. He claims he ran away after getting scared of the cops, and not because he's guilty. The cop wants to take him to the police station, but his team hasn't found anything in the house. Nitu feels they can't barge into her house without a warrant. She vouches for Lolly as her student and claims Zafar is her fiancé. The cop knows it's too late for her to be teaching Lolly, but he doesn't have a reason to arrest him. He still asks Lolly to show up at the police station the next day for questioning. Nitu is mad at Zafar for dealing with substances and asks him to explain. Zafar feels she won't believe what he has to say anyway. Good point. She regrets meeting Zafar and feels like he has ruined her peaceful existence. She feels frustrated that he keeps apologizing, but can't share his problem with her. Lolly interrupts them to ask about the packet. Zafar and Lolly are shocked to learn she flushed it down the toilet. Lolly can't believe she actually flushed down 1.5 million rupees worth of the substances and any chance of him getting his shop deed back. He also feels like Nitu betrayed him because she already has something going on with Zafar. Lolly had assumed Nitu was flirting with him while teaching him. What did we miss? Lolly realizes he's wrong, but still asks for her phone to deal with the situation. Chucha is sitting on a seat with fire underneath when he gets a call from Lolly. He He gets confused with Nitu's voice and cuts the call. Lolly calls him again to fill him in about the development. He requests Chucha to somehow escape before Boli finds out about the pills. Boli's corrupt cop, Kana, also raided the party at her insistence. But the narcotics squad arrives there too, and Kana claims her men escaped with the pills. She blames Kana for not arriving on time and ruining the plan. She feels it's no use if the guys come back to her and give her the pills. Chucha has escaped, so Boli asks her men to run after him. Lolly explains that they don't know where Honey is, but he offers to get Chucha from the market. Boli's men find Chucha, but he holds Bobby's balls to threaten them. The other man breaks Chucha's hand on her instructions, and they try to drag him back. Cops find them taking an injured Chucha away, so they drop him and run away. As the cops chase them, Lolly finds Chucha. Pandit warns them against running away from Poli because he knows she can hunt them down. He thinks they should meet Poli and ask her what they should do next. Zafar feels that's their best option too. Poli makes them all work out, but feels ending them won't help her get her money back. She has a point. She gives them 1 day to arrange 25 lakh rupees from somewhere. She needs double payment for the lottery, the amount of the pills, and some extra for pardoning their lives. She asks them to start working, or Billa's restaurant will be hers. They're all disappointed with their lives, and Lolly tears up when his dad puts his name on the restaurant. Nitu helps pay for Zafar's dad's treatment, and Honey also somehow convinces Priya to forgive him. Lolly is frustrated about how deep their mess is. Anyone would be. He knows the cops won't believe them, because they suspect him. Chucha had another dream last night, but no one wants to go down that path again. Lolly and Honey start fighting about whose fault it is that he's about to lose his restaurant. Chucha confesses that they didn't win the lottery last time because of him. He explains how he couldn't sleep and cooked up a story since he was scared of Honey. He assures them last night's dream is real, and that they still have an unbroken record of never losing a lottery. Nitu offers to invest in them because she wants them out of this mess. Looks like we have another believer. Zafar refuses to be a part of this and takes a shortcut again. Honey reminds him Zafar suggested Boli's name, but he gets angry and walks out. Lolly asks Chucha to share his dream, since they don't have any other option. Chucha has seen a mad dog biting Honey while he is chasing a kite. Honey then becomes a dog and starts chasing his own tail. Chucha then comes to rescue Honey and kicks the mad dog to take him to the vet. Honey as a dog keeps licking his face and gets transformed into a human again after he gets the vaccines. Honey seriously wonders why something bad happens to him in every dream. He thinks Chucha is worse than an enemy. Fair point. Honey still starts decoding the number. He thinks since a dog has 32 teeth, 3 and 2 add up to 5. A dog bite also leads to 14 injections, so that's also adding up to their number 5. Since the mad dog is black, he feels it signifies Pyro's temple behind the old fort in Delhi. Since Indraprastha is Delhi's old name, he knows they need to bet on number 5. To double the amount, they still need a lot of investment. Nitu offers a share of her investment that is not being used in Zafar's dad's treatment. She knows Zafar doesn't want to be a part of it, but she's willing to invest. Honey decides to get some more from somewhere else, while Lolly also feels he can arrange something. Lolly knows he needs to do anything to get his restaurant paperback at this point. Surely this plan will work this time. Honey and Chucha dress up as animals for Pradhan's play to earn some extra cash. Priya makes fun of them and rushes in to not miss their entry. Honey steps in as the lion on his cue, and makes the little goddess in the play sit on him. Chucha misses his cue, and doesn't turn up as the peacock for a long time. When Priya goes out to check on him, she finds that Chucha is being chased by dogs. Could their luck get any worse? Pradhan refuses to pay the full amount because Honey walked out last time, and Chucha ruined the costume. Honey informs Lolly that they're struggling with the money, and asks him to think of something. Lolly prays to God so things work out that day. When he gets out this time, the petrol tank on his bike is missing. When will this happen? Lolly runs around and searches for the homeless man. He catches him red-handed with the tank and threatens to take him to the cops. The homeless man isn't afraid, because he can easily buy out the cops. He reminds Lolly he told him he's very rich. Sure enough, he has cash flowing out of his pockets. He apparently has 12 shops he has leased out and gets too much rent money. He has so much that he doesn't know what to do with it. Turns out he's not delusional after all. Lolly offers to double his money in a few hours if he lends him some. He even gives his bike's keys as collateral. The man can see how desperate Lolly is and asks him to keep his bike. He doesn't want to double the money and just asks Lolly to bring what he takes back. He finds some more cash in another pocket before leaving and hands it over too. Things seem to be looking up. Nitu, Lolly, Chucha, and Honey place their bets on the same lottery in different locations. They eagerly wait for the results, since everything is at stake at this point. They all win at the same time, and can't believe it actually worked. Nitu calls Zafar to inform him about the good news. Poli is impressed that they managed to arrange for so much cash in a day. She knows it's real, and hands over Lali's dad's papers back. None of them move, because Honey wants to deal with her again. This can't be good. He offers her more money for the pills and assures her he will sell them somewhere. She heads back to get pills for them, but the inspector catches her. There's a raid on her entire hideout, and even Honey and his friends get arrested. Poli is still confident as she walks to the station and thinks the minister's secretary set her up. The inspector joins Honey and his friends in the police van. They remember what happened in the last few hours. When Nitu informs Zafar about winning the jackpot, he calls them to the police station. They confess their whole story to the inspector and how they needed to work for Poli to survive. They urge the inspector to think about Zafar's plan and feel like they'll get their money back and be even with Poli. The inspector knows Poli won't refuse Honey's offer and asks them to be careful. The inspector lets them go, and they're all finally free. 3 months later, Honey and Chucha enter the college on horses, just like in Chucha's dream. Zafar and Nitu are together now, and even Priya admits she loves Honey. Lali also enters the college with confidence, and another woman beside him. As expected, Shalu watches Lali with someone else, and gets jealous.